Petra, undoubtedly one of the most impressive stone-cut ancient cities on Earth. Carved into the meandering rising rock faces, within a red stone gorge in Jordan, with the mastery of the original stonecutter's abilities on full display, unfinished, possibly perceived as insignificant areas of this site. Invaluable to our investigations into their construction, as these areas still possess the initial stages of the stone-cutting procedure, patterning we have used to identify the work of the creators of these sites, by means of the tool marks they left behind, now found and identified by us at a number of different ruins all over the world. However, Petra is a place that, although used as the backing for many popular titles, the true size of the entire city, and indeed many of the lesser studied, rarely mentioned corners of the site, and the sculptures found therein, are just as impressive. Some of these areas displaying a tremendously greater age, proof of a far earlier group of stone-cut dwellings, created far earlier in history, which are found intermingled with the more recognizable structures. For not only is any logical explanation as to how such structures were originally constructed absent from the mainstream tale of events, but additionally a near-identical conundrum confronts historians regarding the temples in India, one such being that of Kailash. These temples, instead of having been cut into rising rock faces, as found in Jordan's Petra, were instead carved downwards out of the bedrock, which was no less of an incredible feat, if anything, an even more impressive accomplishment. Additionally, why structures on completely different continents, both cut out of solid rocks, would share the same tool markings, which, like a fingerprint, are now allowing said sites to finally be linked together, providing compelling evidence to support the posit of a past now lost, once highly advanced global civilization which existed far before academically documented history. Additionally, just like that of Longyu Cave in China, yet another ancient site cut straight out of solid stone, the hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of tons of waste mortar has never been found. To create such an enormous structure is one thing, but to actually successfully transport away all of the quarried stone is a feat we feel would have taken any distant culture permitted to be studied by mainstream archaeology many years to have been accomplished. So long, in fact, that it is implausible to suggest this happened. Evidence of this would litter the sites, and many individuals would have been discovered by now, buried there, each displaying telltale injuries from what would have been an unimaginably difficult task to have accomplished. Bozda Caves in Turkey is yet another ancient site quarried from the bedrocks of Earth, which too shares the same tool marks, left by the same technology that clearly cut all of these sites, thus strongly supporting the premise that all these sites were not only cut by the same civilization, but they utilize lost, yet once highly efficient technologies in the original building of these relics. Petra is a site that is thankfully remarkably sheltered, and thus remarkably well preserved, yet due to the areas clearly being of a far greater age, supports the further premise of there having been multiple past civilizations which once dwelled here. Civilization which have been and gone on our planet, which are unfortunately often dismissed or ignored, even hidden with great effort. Yet thankfully, the proof, no matter how some try to keep hidden, remains for all who can recognize them to see, proofs which we find highly compelling.